10 years have passed, yet the mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 remains one of the greatest aviation puzzles of our time. On March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777 with 239 souls on board vanished from radar screens, seemingly into thin air, on its way from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The world watched, waited, and wondered, how could a modern marvel of engineering just disappear? The initial hours were filled with confusion. Air traffic control lost contact with the plane over the South China Sea. Standard procedure, right? But what followed was anything but standard. Military radar later revealed that MH370 didn't just vanish. It took a sharp, deliberate turn, flying back over the Malaysian peninsula before heading northwest and then south, deep into the vast, unforgiving expanse of the southern Indian Ocean. This wasn't a simple accident. The plane's communication systems, the transponder and the ACARs, were manually switched off. This suggested human intervention. But by whom? And why? Was it a hijacking? A pilot-led mass murder-suicide? A catastrophic onboard event that left the plane flying on autopilot as a ghost flight? Theories swirled, each more chilling than the last. The search that ensued was the largest and most expensive in aviation history. Ships, planes, and submarines from dozens of countries scoured millions of square kilometers of ocean. They were chasing faint pings, electronic handshakes, the plane's satellite data unit made with an Inmarsat satellite, long after other communications went silent. These pings, 7 of them, created a series of arcs across the globe. By analyzing these signals, investigators narrowed the search area to a massive stretch of the southern Indian Ocean, west of Australia. For years, the search continued. Underwater drones mapped the seabed, battling treacherous conditions and extreme depths. The ocean floor in this region is more rugged than the surface of Mars, full of underwater volcanoes and deep canyons. Hopes rose with each potential debris sighting, only to be dashed. A few pieces of confirmed wreckage did eventually wash ashore on the coasts of Africa, thousands of kilometers away. A flaperon found on Reunion Island, a piece of an outboard flap from Mozambique. These fragments proved the plane went down in the Indian Ocean, but they didn't tell us where or why. The official underwater search was suspended in January 2017, leaving families in agonizing limbo. But the story doesn't end there. The scientific community, independent experts, and dedicated amateurs refused to give up. They kept crunching the data, refining the models, and re-examining every piece of evidence. And now, a decade later, there's a new glimmer of hope. It comes not from the sky or the sea, but from the depths of the ocean's sound waves. Researchers have been analyzing data from hydrophones, underwater microphones, originally set up to monitor nuclear bomb tests. These sensitive instruments listen to the soundscape of the deep ocean. A British aerospace engineer, Richard Godfrey, pioneered a new tracking technology called Weak Signal Propagation Reporter, or WSPR. Think of it like a global web of invisible tripwires made of amateur radio signals. When an aircraft flies through these signals, it creates a tiny disturbance. By analyzing historical WSPR data from that fateful night, Godfrey and his team have identified a potential flight path that aligns with the satellite data but offers much greater precision. But here's the most compelling part. At around the same time and place where the WSPR data suggests MH370 made its final plunge, a hydrophone station off the coast of Western Australia detected something. It was a faint, 6-second-long pressure signal, a sound that could be consistent with the impact of a 200-ton aircraft hitting the water at high speed. Let's break that down. We have 2 completely independent sets of data pointing to the same small area. One is from radio waves in the atmosphere, tracking the plane's flight. The other is from sound waves in the ocean, potentially recording its final moment. The location they both indicate is just outside the original primary search zone, about 1,560 kilometers west of Perth. Could this be the breakthrough we've been waiting for? The signal is incredibly faint, almost lost in the ocean's ambient noise. Researchers had to use advanced signal processing techniques to even isolate it. They compared it to the sounds recorded from previous air crashes and found remarkable similarities. The energy released by an impact of that magnitude would be equivalent to a small underwater earthquake, and that's exactly what the hydrophone might have heard. This new analysis proposes a search area that is incredibly specific, a circle with a radius of just 30 kilometers. For comparison, the previous search covered an area of over 120,000 square kilometers. It's a needle in the haystack, but for the first time in a decade, we might finally know which haystack to look in. The proposal has been submitted to the Malaysian government, and there is now a renewed push for a new search. Ocean Infinity, the private company that conducted the last search in 2018 on a no-find, no-fee basis, has said they are ready to go back. With more advanced autonomous underwater vehicles and a much more targeted search area, the chances of finding the wreckage are higher than ever before. Finding the plane is about more than just solving a mystery. It's about finding answers for the 239 families who have lived in a state of unresolved grief for 10 years. It's about recovering the flight data recorders, the black boxes, which hold the key to understanding what happened in the cockpit. Did the pilots lose consciousness due to a fire or decompression, leaving the plane to fly on its own? Was it a deliberate act by one of the crew, or is there another explanation that we haven't even considered? The black boxes are designed to withstand immense pressure and can emit a locator beacon for at least 30 days. Their batteries would have died long ago, but the recorders themselves, the precious memory units, are likely still intact, waiting on the dark, cold ocean floor. If they are found, they could finally give a voice to the silent victims of Flight 370. This new evidence, this faint signal from the deep, represents the convergence of cutting-edge science, dogged determination, and a collective human desire for truth and closure. The path that began with a mysterious turn over the South China Sea may finally lead to a specific point on a map in the southern Indian Ocean. The story of MH370 is a humbling reminder of the limits of our technology, but also a testament to the power of human ingenuity and perseverance. The ocean is vast, but it may not be able to keep its secrets forever. A new search could be on the horizon, and with it, the hope that one of aviation's most haunting questions will finally be answered. We will be watching, and we will keep you updated. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story as compelling as we do, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.